got ourselves a new week. Oh, you're here. I'm here. Annette's here.
Yeah.
What do we have for you today? Here we go. Let's get started on this Monday morning. Long-term construction starts today on York and Cannon in Hamilton. Simone Gavril's also back. She's going to tune us in on what's going on.
Hamilton police investigate a suspicious death on Hamilton Mountain.
Oh, trouble in Tigertown. Ticats fall to 0-5. They got mauled by the Lions.
Well, look who's back.
Yay.
Muscle memory, you remember how to do this show again?
We'll see.
Nice to have you here.
Shelley Marriage in for Brian this week, who's off. Hey, Shelley.
Hi, have you been off?
Yeah, I was off last week.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Off for the week. And last week was like come see, come sa when it comes to weather. We had a couple good days, couple of days. Yesterday was like the perfect day, I found. It was fantastic.
It was hot.
It was too hot for you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to like today then.
I know.
Because it's even hotter today, isn't it,
yeah.
Shell?
We're really cranking it up for you, Annette. Heat warning in effect. I'll talk about that a little later on when we touch on weather. But we'll talk about traffic right now. Get everyone started out the door. Having a look at our 403 exclusive camera. This is through Waterdown Road. And we're seeing a little bit of volume. What's nice is, of course, it's just so bright and light this early in the day. Let's have a look at a few more cameras now. MTO showing us out in St. Catharines. This is a look at the Garden City Skyway, the west side, and the QEW through Niagara Street. Lightly traveled there. Not aware of any problems through Grimsby, Beamsville, Stony Creek, and heading over the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Doing okay in both directions. 403 at the junction looking good. Lightly traveled. So far, so good through Burlington along the QEW. We'll head a little bit towards Oakville. There's a look at the QEW at the Ford plant. All right, that's it for now. I'll have more traffic to come. Let's get started with some news.
Actually, Shelley, we're staying on the roads because you can expect some significant traffic delays if you take York Boulevard and Cannon Street to get around Hamilton. The two major roads will have lane restrictions for an ongoing project. Let's bring in Simone Gavril's also back from vacation. Welcome back, Simone. Who's live along York Boulevard. Has it started yet?
Hi, good morning, Tim. Well, the lane restrictions haven't started just yet this morning, but it's going to happen today. Now, it's not going to be a full lane closure that's going to be happening along York and Cannon Street here in the downtown core. It's going to go down to one lane in each direction here, but it's going to cause some significant delays, especially as people are coming on and off the 403. Now, this is a look of the breakdown of those lane closures that we're going to be seeing along the roads here. It's going to be in place on York Boulevard between Dundurn and Caroline Streets, and then on Cannon between Queen and James Streets, and that's according to the city. Now, the whole project is expected to span over 2 construction seasons. This stretch will go from July until December, and then it'll resume in April with the goal of wrapping up next August. Now, the goal of the project includes urban rehabilitation, bike lane upgrades, intersection improvements, and water main installation. Crews will also work on converting Hess Street North to a two-way street from Barton Street to York Boulevard. Now, because of the construction, there are a number of roads that will not have access to York Boulevard, including Oxford, Ray, and McGill Streets. Now, the city says that businesses in the area will not be affected by these road closures, but there are going to be bus and bike lane detours that will be in place. But for now, I'll send things back over to you, Annette.
Okay, thanks, Simone. Well, police are investigating a suspicious death on Hamilton Central Mountain. A man's body was discovered over the weekend on an empty lot on Upper James. This is between Rymel Road and Stonechurch Road. There is a boarded-up house on the overgrown property. Investigators are waiting for autopsy results.
A crash in a rural area outside of Hagersville has killed a 54-year-old motorcyclist. His name has not been released. It happened early yesterday afternoon. It's Highway 3 and Cheapside Road. Haldeman OPP say the bike rider collided with a trailer. 2 people in the other vehicle were not injured.
An Oakville woman is among 2 people charged after a shooting at a strip club. Shots were fired near the main entrance of the Whiskey A Go-Go in Vaughan around 1:30 the morning of June 29th. No one was hurt. A 36-year-old man from Cordes, Ontario, and a 22-year-old woman from Oakville face several charges. York Regional Police are asking anyone with dashcam footage of the area to get in touch with them.
Peel police say millions in gold stolen from Toronto Pearson Airport in April of last year was likely smuggled out of Canada, sold, and then melted overseas. Police believe a large portion of that gold ended up in Dubai or India. The April 2023 heist, it involved 6,600 gold bars, 2.5 million in foreign currency stolen from Air Canada's cargo facility 3 months ago. 5 suspects were arrested. 3 Canada-wide arrest warrants were issued, with a 4th suspect in custody in the United States. Police allege that some of the suspects may also be involved in firearms trafficking.
Still at the airport, WestJet is feeling the effects still after a 2-day mechanic strike. It shut down WestJet's network for 29 hours over the Canada Day long weekend, costing them millions of dollars. Tracking service FlightAware says WestJet canceled more than 130 flights since Friday, affecting at least 170,000 flyers. Some travelers have reported that customer service at WestJet has almost been unreachable for days and failed to rebook them if they turn down a refund. That's an obligation after 48 hours under Canada's Passenger Rights Charter.
Staying with the labor woes, thousands of workers in Ontario's main liquor retailer are still in the midst of a historic strike. LCBO began their first ever strike on Friday morning following months of unsuccessful contract negotiations between their union and management. The Ontario Public Service Employees Union, OPSEU, says workers are concerned that Premier Doug Ford's accelerated plan to expand the alcohol market will lead to job losses. LCBO retail locations are expected to remain closed for at least 14 days. However, convenience outlets in smaller communities will continue to operate, and online ordering is available with product limits in place.
Another process in the shutdown of the Ontario Science Centre is complete. Staff say they've completed the process of refunding families whose children were booked for summer camps there. It could take a few days for the refund to show up on credit card accounts. Now, staff have also been working to refund tickets bought to the centre, which the province abruptly closed late last month, citing safety concerns with the roof. The newest member of the Hamilton Police Mounted Unit is a cat. A tiger cat. Hamilton Police have named their new horse TC. It's a nod to the Hamilton Tiger Cat's long-standing commitment to the city. TC will soon join 5 other horses of Hamilton's Mounted Unit: McNabb, Lincoln, Sutherland, Sawyer, and Griffin. Well, a Guinness running record has been smashed at McMaster University. 100 Canadian women reclaimed the 100 by 1 mile relay women's world record. They did it in 8 hours, 57 minutes, and 26.9 seconds. That is almost 21 minutes faster than the previous record. The runners started at the McMaster track at 9 yesterday morning under the guidance of McMaster coach, University coach Paula Schnurr, and Hamilton Olympic Club coach Patty Moore. They were part of a group of 100 who set the original record in 1999. Last summer, a group of women in the U.S. beat their time, and Schnurr and Moore wanted the title back. They got it back handily.
Congratulations to everybody involved in that. And that was the good news story in Hamilton yesterday when it comes to the sports world. Let's get to the bad, because another Sunday night tilt for the Tiger Cats, who were still looking for their first win after dropping their first 4 games of the season. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, the BC Lions embarrassed the Cats at the Donut Box.
2nd and 5, BC opening possession of this game. Throwing deep, wide open, touchdown, stand back.
Yeah, it started early. 4 plays into the game, Vernon Adams Jr., who had himself a game, hooked up with William Stanback for the 45-yard touchdown, and they just dominated from there. It was a humiliating display from the defense, especially the secondary, as Adams would connect with Justin McInnes for 2 touchdowns, 10 receptions for 144 yards. It was 24-1 before Hamilton scored their first touchdown, but the Lions would come right back and put this one away. 44-28 was the final, which is actually closer than it felt, as the Cats did score a late touchdown. Bo Levi Mitchell, again, had a decent game. 3 touchdowns, 374 yards, but they have no wins to show for it. First time since 2017, they sit at 0-5 as they head into the bye week, trying to figure it all out, how to turn it around. They will host the Argos at home July the 20th. Be interesting to see if the roster and the coaching staff looks the same.
Well hit ball high and deep to right center field. And it is gone!
Well, listen, it's no secret. George Springer and the Blue Jays are not having a good season, sitting in the basement of the AL East. But Springer been much better of late. Had that big smack yesterday in Seattle in front of thousands of Jays fans who make the pilgrimage from all over Western Canada. His 3-run shot in the 7th tied the game at 4, which forced extras. The Jays actually pulled it out with Dalton Varsho. That's single in the 10th, bringing Vladdy on in the bullpen. They locked it down and they nail-biting bottom of the 10th. Jays win at 5-4. They take the series. Day off today for them. They start a new one against the Giants in San Francisco tomorrow.
8 times we've said it before. Here's a 9th for you. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. What a victory! Hamilton is back.
Yeah, a pretty special moment at the British Grand Prix as one of the greatest Formula One drivers ever returned to glory on his home track as Lewis Hamilton won his 104th F1 race and a record 9th at Silverstone. But it was his first since 2021 in Saudi Arabia, which is more than 50 races ago. Hugging his dad afterwards, the 39-year-old said it could be his greatest victory and maybe his last at Mercedes as he is heading to Ferrari next year. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris finished up the podium. Plenty of going on in England when it comes to sports. You have the Euro semifinals this week with England set to play the Netherlands on Wednesday. And then you have Wimbledon at the All England Club. We're defending men's champ Carlos Alcaraz. Watch this. He's on his keister. He still gets up and gets the point in the 4th round in the quarter. So he's off to the quarterfinals after that amazing points. And a 4-set win over Frenchman Hugo Humbert. Top seed Jannik Sinner also moving on. Novak Djokovic, he'll be in action today. And we have to mention what happened on Friday nights, the Copa America quarterfinals, when Canada's Ismael Kone, cool, calm, and collected, netted the winner in penalty kicks, perfectly depicted here from editor Steve's drawing. Thank you, Steve. To give Canada the thrilling 4-3 win over Venezuela and into the Copa America semifinals, which is just simply amazing. So that sets up another match against world number 1, reigning World Cup winners, Copa America winners from Argentina. They face Leo Messi again tomorrow night in New Jersey after falling 2-0 in the opener. What a moment for our men's soccer program. Lots more on that, what we can show over the next day or so. And I know, Shelley, you must be excited about that as a soccer fanatic yourself.
You bet I am. And I'll be doing the evening news tomorrow, so I'll be watching in the newsroom for sure. All right, let's have a look at the 403. We'll talk a little bit more, of course, about soccer and weather, but talking about traffic right now if you're heading out the door, not aware of any problems or seeing any heavy delays on our exclusive camera here. This is through Waterdown Road. Seeing a little bit of volume as you make your way Toronto bound towards the junction. A few more MTO cameras now. Well, winds are light, so we're not really dealing with shaking cameras, and we're not dealing with precipitation. Roads are dry. Looking good here at the 403 at the junction. Seeing a little bit of volume starting to fill in over the top side of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. This time of the day, usually Toronto bound side, always a busy one. You can see here it's starting to fill in, but we're not seeing any flashing lights, so that's always a good sign. QEW through Centennial Parkway, a little bit of volume on the Niagara bound side, and not seeing any heavy delays through Beamsville, Grimsby, St. Catharines. Yeah, we're doing okay. All right, let's have a look now at weather and heat warning in effect today through to tomorrow. Daytime temperatures 31, feeling closer to 38, could even feel like 40 in some areas. And that heat warning is for the Golden Horseshoe, the GTA, not to say that the rest of southern Ontario isn't going to be hot, and we'll have a warm overnight low of 20, so not a whole lot of relief overnight. Looking at our radar, nothing to see here. High pressure dominates the lower Great Lakes, bringing us clear skies. That's pretty much what we'll be dealing with today. Lots of sunshine. Right now, we're looking at 14 to 19 across the region. As I mentioned, winds are quite light. For your morning commute, it's going to be a dry one, a warm one as well. 20 to 22 degrees. And today we'll get up to that 31, feeling like 38. Again, with a heat warning. If you're just tuning in, that heat warning for today and tomorrow. We do have a very high UV index reading today. Winds will be out of the west at 18 kilometers an hour. And as I mentioned, very warm overnight, 20, partly cloudy skies and a southwest wind. All right, that's it for now for traffic and weather. Back to the desk.
Oh, thanks, Shelley. Hello, Emily Vukovic.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going down?
I've survived 1 week of summer vacation.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do with them?
I don't even know.
Yeah?
No, they were in camp.
Okay.
And I know you were away for a week enjoying summer vacation, enjoying some of the heat. And you know what would be a really good place to go to today to cool off from that heat warning?
Some water park?
A movie theater, air conditioning.
Okay, yes.
We're
all
going
right.
to talk box office.
Right.
And Ringo Starr is celebrating a birthday. We will chat about that as well.
Okay, we'll see you at the couch and chat in the next little bit. Let's do a little business news after the break, shall we? Walmart has announced the return of sensory-friendly shopping hours. Details on that and other business news in 2. All right, here we go. Good morning if you're just getting up. 6:17 is the time. Here's some business news for you. Canadian dollar has not changed since Friday. It's trading at 73.35 cents US. Gold down big time, over 17 bucks, 23.80.60. Crude oil, it's down 8 pennies, 82.36 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Midday trading there. Good morning, Europe. Markets are up across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were down today in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. North American markets, the TSX on Friday lost 184 points. The Dow gained 67, while the Nasdaq gained 164.
Well, good morning to you on this Monday. It's July the 8th. Let's start with Walmart Canada in business because they have quietly launched sensory-friendly shopping with no background music and muted TVs. So supporters say sensory-friendly hours, they're an affordable and just an easy way for businesses to make shopping easier for people who have disabilities or are sensitive to busy environments. Walmart is offering the subdued experience at one of its stores in Ancaster on Monday through Wednesday for 3 hours from 7 to 10 in the morning.
An independent report into the Rogers outage 2 summers ago shows the company could have prevented the outage or ended it sooner if they had the proper protection in place. That outage lasted more than 24 hours, impacting more than 12 million customers. A report delivered to the federal broadcast regulator says Rogers has since implemented changes to address the cause of the outage and also to improve network resiliency and reliability. So an error by Rogers staff during a network upgrade caused its core network's routers to crash. That outage was prolonged in part because staff couldn't communicate with each other.
So Boeing is paying a fine to avoid prosecution. This according to a Justice Department court filing. It says the aircraft maker has agreed to plead guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States. That's the charge. It stems from the 2018 and 19 crashes in which 346 people died. The document lists the fine as up to $487 million. That's a fraction of the almost $25 billion victims' families want Boeing to pay. And Boeing confirms reaching an agreement in principle, but did not give any details.
A huge entertainment merger has been completed after months of talks. Paramount, which owns Paramount Pictures and CBS, has agreed to merge with Skydance Media. The new combined company is valued at around $28 billion. Skydance, which is based out of California, has helped produce some major Paramount hits in the last few years. They include several Tom Cruise films, including Top Gun Maverick, and installments of the Mission Impossible series.
Prosecutors in Italy are expanding their investigation into the supply chains of several luxury fashion brands. It follows allegations of workers' exploitation at the company that makes handbags for Dior. Bags sell for more than $2,800 US, were allegedly made for just $57. Much of that low cost because of excessive hours at suppliers. Armani bags were also sold to a supplier for $100, even though they retail for around $2,000. Dior has not commented on the investigation. Armani says it has measures to minimize supply chain abuses and will cooperate fully with authorities.
Okay, taking a break right now. Shelley is back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Gonna be a hot one.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. If you're getting a head start out the door, we're looking at the 406 south of the QEW in St. Catharines, lightly traveled, and you can see weather is not an issue this morning across the Golden Horseshoe and the GTA. QEW through Niagara Street looking good, no problems along the QEW through 50 Road, through the Red Hill Valley Parkway. Yeah, you can see lightly traveled, a little bit of volume on the Niagara-bound side. And if you're heading over the Burlington Skyway Bridge, starting to fill in on the Toronto-bound side. As you make your way down towards Fairview Street, looking good. QEW east of Brant towards the junction, no problems there. And QEW through Walker's Line, lightly traveled. Through Burlington, Oakville, not aware of any problems. And let's talk about, well, your almanac. We had our first light today at 5:13, a sunrise of 5:46. Really enjoying that. And then our last light of the day will be 9:36, so that will give us 15 hours and 16 minutes of daylight. The average daytime high for this time of the year is 26. We'll be above that with 31, feeling like 38, even closer to 40 with a humidex, a heat warning in effect for parts of southern Ontario. And now Hurricane Beryl, Category 1, it will weaken over the next few days. However, southern Ontario will feel some remnants from it. So you can see some instability here pushing into southwestern Ontario. And then Wednesday, most of the day is going to rain and linger into Thursday across the lower Great Lakes. We're looking at 30 to 40 millimeters of rain. So 20 overnight tonight, that is the criteria with the overnight, the daytime high being well above seasonal, very hot, a heat warning. We're looking at 30 tomorrow, feeling like 35 with a 30% chance of showers. Now those showers really beginning Tuesday overnight, as I showed you on that map. Wednesday will be the wet day, only 20 degrees, a 40% chance of showers Thursday. And then you can see it really heats up, but we bounce back to sunshine Friday and into the weekend. That's it for now. Back to the desk.
Okay. Of course, Judy Garland didn't record her voice for an audiobook of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, but soon you will be able to hear her reading it. Take a listen.
At that moment, Dorothy saw lying on the table the silver shoes that had belonged to the Witch of the East.
So download the 11 Labs reader.
11 Labs announced that they're using AI to recreate the voices of famous actors like Julie Garland, James Dean, and Burt Reynolds for a new app. It's called Reader. So this app can read articles, books, and other texts aloud using the actors' voices. 11 Labs has made agreements with the families of these actors to use their voices. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Not a fan?
No.
What?
It's creepy. I don't know. She's been dead for how many years? And
okay, can I admit something? I've never seen The Wizard of Oz, so I wouldn't even know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, to me it didn't sound like Judy Garland.
Okay, I wouldn't even know what Judy Garland's voice sounds like, or James Dean's voice really would sound like. So for me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I guess for somebody that's connected to it more. Are you judging me because I haven't seen Wizard of Oz?
No, not at all.
Are you judging me at home? I haven't seen Wizard of Oz. Shelley's head whipped around. She's like,
it's scary.
Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, it's got the flying monkeys.
Oh, okay.
Really scary.
Okay.
Okay.
We gotta go. Half hour down.
That's her.
It's her singing, not talking.
There's this song that's kind of famous for her. No, it's her singing.